interesting aspect of his managerial style is the incident with Cleon Jones. When he took him out of the game.
I asked Cleon about that.
Yeah, how did he feel about it?
Well, the way Cleon put it was, he said, I always had bad feet. And one thing he did say is true, that the field was a sponge. Shea Stadium was never good to go away.
It held the water very
They
well.
held the water very well. And he said, Gil walked out there and he just said, I didn't like the way he went after that last ball. And he said, I looked down and Gil looked down and both our feet were coming to water up to our ankles. And he said, well, why don't you come with me because it looks like your feet hurt. And I could just see Gil saying that low key. But I think Gil, and I think Piggy knows this, Gil was sending a message. Because the Mets had just gotten the bus kicked by the Astros for the series before that. And Cleon Jones leading the league in hitting. 340. Now, when you go out and take out the league's leading hitter, you walk all the way out to left field to do it. You're sending a message to everybody that you play this game 100% all the time when you're not playing. And if you're hurt, tell me, I'll put somebody else in who can play. And Cleon doesn't resent it to this day. In fact, it's kind of a legendary thing. I already asked him about it. But he was sending a message in his way, a very quiet, low-key message. Buddy Harrelson was funny because Buddy said, I'm standing at shortstop. He walks past the pitcher's mound. I'm like, oh my God, he's coming to get me. And he said he walked right past me, and I was like, oh thank God. And everybody in the ballpark was running, where the hell's he going? And he went out and got Cleon. So it was a pretty famous moment. Kind of turned the season around a little bit.
Cleon come to me and says, I want to get back into the game. I said, well, all you got to do is go ask him. Well, you know him better than I do. Why don't you ask him? I said, no. I said, he didn't take me out of the game. He took you out.
I'll tell you a little funny story about that night. I'll make it as quick as I can. Gil would call me after a game and after the press conference and whatever he had to do, and he'd tell me he was leaving, and I'd have something ready for him to eat. Now, I would watch every game, and actually, it was very, very important. And I almost died when I saw him do that, because I knew he still had little ways about him. You know, whenever he would do this, I knew that he was a little far gone. And when I saw him, I saw the way Cleon played that ball in the outfield. And when I saw Gil leave the dugout, I said to myself, oh my God, he's not. But he did. Now he called me and he's coming home. And he said, I'll be home in about 35 minutes. Okay. Because he coffee, did everything I had to do. And I had the television on. And we always discussed the game when he came home. I made it a promise to myself. I wasn't going to discuss this. So he came in and he sat down and had a watch baseball. Put him down. He came in, sat down. And I did what I had to do. And he said, well, I said, what? I said, Don Rickles is subbing for Johnny Thompson tonight. He said, why don't you turn it off? I said, no, I like Don Rickles. So he said, no. He said, come on, get it off your chest. Now, when he left, I knew that he left because he called me, told me he was leaving. I called Rube Walker, who was also very, very close with him. And I said, Rube, why did you let him do it?
Rube didn't know where he was going.
Rube said to me, Joan, I don't think there's anybody alive on this earth that could have stopped him. And I really didn't know where he was going. So he said to me, okay, get it off your chest. And I said, okay. I said, I wouldn't care if you got him in the office after the game, closed the door, and literally wiped the floor with him. I know the way you felt about it. He dogged that play. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I said, I know you would, but Gil, in front of everyone, in front of the press, whatever possessed you to do it. And Gil was the type of man that would make up stories. He would give it to you straight, or he wouldn't give it to you at all. But he wouldn't make up a story, I don't think. And he said to me, you want the gospel gospel truth? I said, yeah, I'm your wife. Why? He said, I never realized it until I passed the pitcher's mound, and I couldn't turn back. And that was the truth of the whole story. It was so far gone.
You couldn't stop it.